thanks for watching. Now I have something to haul my steel on for all my other projects. So we've got a better idea. Picked this up from my welding instructor. Actually, we were talking about this trailer, and he said, I've got an axle at my house that I get rid of, and a tongue. Well, not tongue, but a hitch and everything. So I decided, wow, well, that might work out better. So I think 75 bucks, decent tires. Yeah, I think they're car tires, but they actually are holding air and everything. A little bit of rot from sitting there for a little while, but they'll hold up for a while, and they're only 13-inch tires, which would be perfect versus those big old things on that other axle I was going to use. So what I decided with this, it's already got the springs and everything, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut off a little bit of that extra metal that's sitting there. I don't need any of that. I'm just going to chop it off, and then I'm going to add a beam across it from that junk stuff over there that we still have left over. And then I'll be able to just set the tongue, or set the big long piece right on top of it, and it should make it go a lot easier. Okay, I'm gonna get everything cut off. So if you can see right here, this one's bent just a little bit. So I'm gonna try to cut this weld off right in here. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut this weld off right here and see if I can pull this together, because it's making it a little bit cockeyed there, and I'd like to straighten that up just a touch to make it easier to weld these cross members. So now I'm just gonna weld this in, and that'll help pull this in and get it a little bit more straight there for that, and then I'll re-weld my little cut here. I didn't have to cut all the way through, just enough to get it to bend, kind of like you would if you were gonna bend a piece of angle iron or something. Got that closed up, got this twisted around correctly, and that'll make everything come together a little bit easier. Got my two cross members on there. The front one, I went ahead and cut off, like I said, so that it's even, and I just put it up against the front. So I'm gonna take my strap off, finish welding on the inside of this front one, and then I'm gonna mount the big long piece on. Hey, mama dog, what you doing? Okay, can't really tell because it's dark out here, but maybe I'll show you in the daylight. But what we got is a little bit of a bow right back there a little bit. You can tell that's really not it, but anyway, there's a slight bow in it, which I knew, and I was trying to straighten it up. It's just about 6 inches past our seam, so we're going to try a block and cable and see if we can push it out at least until we get it welded, and then it might pull a little straighter and stuff. So we're going to try that out. Right here is where I changed my mind, and as you'll see, we bought a 4x4 14 gauge square tube. I just didn't like the bow in this piece, and it was really too heavy for this project. It probably weighs more than the rest of the whole axle assembly it's mounting on in the back there. So I just wanted to show you this method that we use to get the bow out. You could use it on long lumber or pretty much anything you need that's kind of long that you can't just stand on to straighten before you nail it or weld it in place. That looks quite a bit better. Alright, go down to that end. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it over. So this is the bottom. And then I'm just going to tell you either left or right or forward or backwards. So we've got to get this line up to the front here and then line these up. So what I went with was a 70-30 instead of 60-40. Just because it's a long, and I'm usually going to have about 3 feet sticking off the back, so I wanted it a little bit more tongue weight. So, all right, so let's flip it over first. One more. Go towards the garage. Stop. Move your end that way towards the house more. Whoa. Actually, that looks pretty good, and they're both on my lines there. Now I'm gonna make sure I'm still in the front. Yeah, I think that's good. Thank you, ma'am. Next, I'm just going to cut this old stuff and this old channel off. I decided there wasn't enough surface area. There's only a couple of inches like this, maybe about an inch and a half. And I felt that wasn't far enough back on the channel since it's 14 gauge. I just didn't want to put all that stress with welds right here, just right up at the lip of the channel. So I'm making my own channel and mount for this coupler. You know, remember, this trailer won't have more than 500 pounds on it ever, so it should be fine. What I did was I clamped it all down and got it in place and lined it up, got it nice and straight and square with the channel. And then I went ahead and tacked it in 4 spots and welded it with the MIG welder right there. I'm going to come back in with the stick welder and get down in these crevices and then on the inside also, and make sure that it's nice and welded to this coupler. Then I can mount this to the channel. Alright, so I got me a coupler made, and that should work fine. Got it all welded all over the place, so it's not going anywhere, and it should be fine. Got to get some more practice again. I got some good ones in there, but also got some bad ones, so I may go over those one more time after I get them cleaned up a little bit. But this will work perfect, and it's just right for that 4-inch channel. So there's my hitch. I did decide I'm going to just go ahead and weld it since it's got this nice channel to go down. And then also on the bottom right here, that'll give it, 4 places. Pretty good weld, and I don't have to worry about it coming off. Just going to add those. They're 55 inches. Come up to just shy of 3 foot. That was a 3 foot mark. I actually cut it wrong. It should have been 56 instead of 55 inches. So I'm just going to move it back ever how far that is, maybe 2 inches there. And then do the same thing for the other side. Get those welded on. And then since I don't do overhead or anything, I'll wait till everybody gets home. We'll flip it over and I'll finish welding everything out. just got quite a bit of welding to do. We got it flipped over. Took 4 of us. I can lift it up by myself on this end, just resting on there. So probably 300 to 500 pounds, I guess. You know, I can lift this end up so they could get the jack stands underneath. But now we got it flipped upside down so that we can finish welding all the joints. That'll make it nice and flat weld, easy to do for me. And just finish all those. Get these sides, both sides there, right up against the top. And then, you know, on the bottoms here, all over, and down there on the underside of the tongue of the coupler. Okay, I got it all welded. This is the tongue and the coupler. Got it welded in there. A little issue over here with, ran a little high, so I had to go back and go underneath. But it's nice and solid. And got all the, we flipped it over, like I said, and got all of these welded up. All the sides here. You can see that. Everything's welded down and shouldn't be going anywhere. Only a weld on there. There's our little back piece lifted and over there. So now I'm just going to wire wheel it a little bit more and spray some paint on it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and paint the underside. The only thing I forgot to do was to put the cross braces, well, they're not even braces, they're just going to be the platform to lay the metal on top. So I'm just going to paint the bottom while I've got it upside down. That makes it easier. And then I'm going to flip it over and put the last 4 little pieces on. So I brought it in, got kind of windy outside, and I'm just going to finish it. I painted the underside, and now I'm adding the little extensions to kind of just make sure everything doesn't fall off. I put this one on here at 3 foot long, and we're going to paint that red, and then I'll put a piece of reflective tape or whatever on the back, or maybe just screw some reflectors to it actually. Get some one of those long reflectors for, goes on the tailgates or whatever. So I'm going to put that on there, paint that, and then I did the front piece up there. That's going to be our stop. That's at 21 feet, and that gives me 3 foot of turning. You know, we probably could go all the way up. It's not like this is going to stick out ever too far, but just in case, like I want to go get some 8-inch flat 3/16. That's what my next thing is going to be that I'm going to go get. So I want something to support it if we get a little bit wider stuff. So I'm just at 10 feet right here. Well, it's almost 10 feet. It's like 9 foot 8 inches or something. But it's right on top of that 2-inch angle. So I'm going to put these 2-inch squares at 4 inches. So that gives me 12 inches of flatbed to just to keep stuff, you know, stable and stuff when you're going down the road. And if you get something, you know, they usually tie it up and wrap it up pretty good with that string tape when you get there. But you know, if we ever get anything more than 4 inches or so, then we have some flat area to rest it on as well. It will stick off the back just a little bit, so that'll give us some support up there, some support right there, and then some support right here. So I'm gonna just put these on here, and that'll be the next thing. Then I think I'm finished. I was gonna put 2 sets of these along, but I really think that just this and that one up front and the one in the back will be plenty. You know, we always strap it down really well and all of that, so I think this will be enough. You know, if I find I need more, I can always come back, grind it down a little bit, and put something else on there. All right, let me get that welded on and get it painted. now I have something to haul my steel on for all my other projects. And just kind of thought of it as I went. I did draw it up once, and then I switched gears a couple of times. But anyway, it's 21 foot 6 inches from this piece all the way to the back. So there should only be a little over about 3 feet hanging off on the longest piece I'll get. The 20 footers will fit right on there without any sticking off. So that's why I went ahead and painted that red. And we'll put the reflectors on there. I'll go get some reflectors and screw them on there, and then probably just use the magnet lights that we have. But anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.